The American dream, once a motivator for improvement and success, has long since lost its inspiration. Its opportunities have never been equal, excluding many. The promise in the Declaration has failed minority groups, leading to hopelessness and despair. It has destroyed those during the time of Frederick Douglass, with the ideal being an excuse to keep those enslaved and prejudiced. Even now in the 21st century, racial wealth gaps exist. Student debt demonstrates how the dream can serve as a mechanism for oppression. Ultimately, the American dream has functioned less as a pathway for success and more as a system for oppression, built on exclusion, discrimination, and continue today through hardship and debt. Frederick Douglass's speech, "What to the Slave is the 4th of July," expresses how the American dream is rooted in oppression and exclusion. The founding fathers asserted all men are created equal, but Douglass demonstrates the falsehood in this statement by revealing the hypocrisy in celebrating a holiday that signifies freedom in a nation rooted in slavery. He declares, "This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I must mourn." From experience, he contrasts how those excluded from the dream are left to mourning with a system that maintains oppression. Douglass continues to criticize such false promises by labeling Independence Day celebrations as a sham and mere bombast, meaning that it was only a one-sided celebration. A government that celebrates liberty while also enforcing slave laws signifies that the American dream was selective in its freedom. His words describe how its so-called American dream, based in freedom, equality, and prosperity, was weaponized against enslaved people when they were presented with an idea that they could not inherit. Rather than inspire unity, the dream became a binding concept that excluded others and defined by a strict and unwavering relevance of who was completely American and who was not.
From the beginning, the American dream was written as a selective promise. The Declaration of Independence, often seen as the foundation, promised that through hard work, people can gain wealth. The Declaration of Independence included the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, in which the pursuit of happiness was the establishment of the dream. Yet the promise excluded women, indigenous people, and enslaved people. The same document labeled indigenous people as merciless savages, casting them as outsiders. As such, the stigma carried through the Trail of Tears continues today. Exclusion soon became law. The Naturalization Act of 1790 restricted citizenship to free white persons, while the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 blocked Asian immigrants from entry and prosperity. Similarly, Jim Crow laws further added to the racial barriers, making sure wealth and prosperity remained in white hands. These examples reveal how the American dream was withheld from entire communities, one group empowered to succeed while others are locked out of access to it. Today, the American dream oppresses individuals in contemporary America through forms of debt. Student loans, mortgages, and generational debt are the most prominent. Nearly 43 million Americans, that's about 1 in 6, carry a combined $1.6 trillion in student loans. While education is seen as the path to success, it often leads graduates to be sinking in debt for decades. Scholars call a debt a modern form of indentured servitude, which traps low-income and minority students. In this way, debt produces inequality instead of reducing it, which traps the most vulnerable people in cycles of repayment. The recent One Beautiful Bill Act claims to have simplified the loan process in repayment and increased accountability. Instead, it restricted loan eligibility and placed inexpensive compliance burdens on schools, reducing affordability. Some sound protective, but the bill narrows access to schools by making the dream only available to those of wealthy descent of privilege. Additionally, housing debt adds another barrier. Home prices have risen 80% in the last decade, alongside rising high interest rates that trap families. Despite that, the United States disproportionately values owning over renting, and home ownership is viewed as a critical piece of the American dream, with the majority of Americans believing owning a home is a greater achievement than raising a family, getting a college degree, or even having a career. The government sells home ownership as a taste of the dream, but many families end up trapped in costly mortgages. Due to the prevalent issue of debt in America, the dream can function as a way of control instead of a pathway to prosperity. What was once the ultimate goal has since become a cold, oppressive force, pushing others down through inequality, exclusion, and debt. While liberty was celebrated during Frederick Douglass's lifetime, slavery still existed. Although modern America does not have traditional slavery, today's wealth gaps by group have chained the marginalized. The American dream has failed those outside its privileges. It started from a promise and evolved into a hardship. However, the American dream does not have to remain a mechanism of oppression. It can become a promise of opportunity if systemic change takes place. With systemic changes that dismantle discriminatory policies, break the stranglehold of debts, and provide opportunities to all, America can break free from the chains into a better place than it was found for future generations, despite their identity, to uphold the ideals of equality and freedom for all Americans.